Hi, I'm Jamie from Sci-Fi-vision. Thanks for speaking to me. Nice to talk to you again. So I really enjoyed this season, considering I started it yesterday and finished it last night, clearly.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, I binged it all at once. So last time we talked a bit about her faith. Can you talk about how that continues to play a role in sort of how she adapts? Because I feel like sometimes she knows what she wants, other times she seems to not know what's going to happen and sort of making it up as she goes along. So can you sort of talk about that?
Yeah, well, I think she's on more solid ground this season in the sense of she's got sort of empirical truths and she's got evidence and she's got pieces that she can begin to put together to understand who she is and where she has come from. And that really enables me as an actor to give her more of an emotional engine as well, which was really special. So she's not just kind of reacting all the time to everything. But with that, there is also this sort of sinister element to it, which is an understanding of one's own power. When she has that information, it's sort of, does she use that for the greater good? Does she use it for her own selfish, intentions and motivations? So yeah, in terms of her fate, I think obviously we see her getting closer to that in this season, which just allows for a more grounded space to be in. But yeah, she's still on the quest.
Now you talk about the sinister part of it, and that was the other thing I wanted to ask you, is it seems like this season, I feel like sometimes I really thought she cared about the family, other times I wasn't sure. Is a lot of that a facade, or does she really, I mean, how do you feel that she really feels about them this season?
I think people who have lost trust can act in very reckless ways, and I think it would be a mistake to think that someone like her, who's been alive as long as she has, without information, would be so easily trusting of other people. So she very much still has her guard up, and I think symptoms of that are sort of the way that she behaves, and they're not always the right ways. But she's a lone ranger. She's been that way for so long, and I think her defense mechanisms kind of manifest in these ways that aren't necessarily the best.
Not always good. Can you talk about filming the scenes with her visions and that? Is it hard to sort of not go overboard, but yet make it believable? Can you talk about balancing that?
Yeah, it just feels like a day in the life of a day in the life, right? Like I feel like I move through the world as a person always being like, no, don't look at the bird for too long, because I feel like it's just understanding the tone of the scene and then calibrating according to that. But in terms of, I really believe that she can see these things, and I think we all do that. Not to sound like we're all moving through psychosis all day every day, but it doesn't seem so out of the ordinary to me that she would have this sort of living dream in front of her. You just want to make sure that you're not kind of going overboard, I suppose.
What I just every time I watched it though, I kept wondering what is the rock made of that you're all
Yeah,
eating?
right. No, can we get some? It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It doesn't look appetizing. What was
No,
it?
I don't think it's an over-the-counter kind of material. You've got to get a prescription for that stuff.
All right. Is there anything that you learned last season that helped you kind of this season that you sort of brought into it that changed it all?
Um, I think you mean something that helped me this season. Well, obviously the Amy and Autumn information was huge, because that
Yeah,
gives me somewhere to sort of like plant plant a stick. Is that the right
yeah,
term? And then move outwards from that. So it didn't feel so sort of fragmented. Um, there was a sort of, I had a center to it, which was very, very helpful. But really, yeah, I love working on the show, and it's sort of part of the kind of trick to it all is it's all a bit nuts. So I think just rolling with that is important. And I had an amazing experience on season 1, and I loved our showrunners, and I had a great experience with season 2, and I adored Charles Murray. So it was great.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.